Listen closely, because what I'm about to tell you is not about catching someone. It's about understanding the truth behind her distance, and the man you must become when something feels wrong. Women rarely confess with words. They confess with behavior, with silence, with absence, with energy that suddenly no longer reaches you. Her presence feels elsewhere. There is a moment in every man's life when he looks into a woman's eyes and realizes he is no longer standing where he once stood. Nothing dramatic happens. No fight, no confession, no storm, just a quiet shift, a slow disappearance, a presence fading like the last ember of a dying fire. A woman may lie with her mouth. Words are easy, comfort is easy, reassurance is easy, but her energy, her presence, her spiritual temperature, those do not lie. You feel it in the room before she even opens her mouth. The air changes. The silence grows heavy. The warmth you used to feel from her, that natural feminine pull, becomes cold, distant, unreachable. She's right beside you, yet she's miles away, physically close, emotionally gone. And that is the first sign a man senses long before he understands it. When she's with you, but her mind is somewhere you can't follow. You don't feel chosen, you feel like a placeholder, a shadow, something she's standing near out of habit, not desire. Her eyes used to light up when she looked at you. Now they drift. They look through you instead of into you. They lose focus as if she's replaying a conversation you weren't part of, thinking about a moment she didn't share with you, connecting to a world that no longer includes you. Her spirit, once open and leaning toward you, begins to fold inward. Her laughter comes slower. Her reactions feel forced. Her attention is fragmented, like she's guarding part of herself, so you don't see the truth hiding behind her silence. It's not insecurity when a man senses this, it's instinct, a masculine alert system that recognizes when the woman before him is not fully present anymore, because masculine awareness isn't emotional, it's perceptive. It reads tone before words, energy before explanations, distance before reasons. It's the part of you that knows when something sacred has been touched, shifted, rearranged without your permission. You start to feel conversations becoming hollow. Her replies come slower, lighter, emptier, like she's giving you only the surface, while the depths of her attention belong elsewhere. You ask her a simple question, and she pauses, not because she's thinking, but because she's returning from somewhere, from someone, from a place she doesn't want you to see. Small details become louder. The way she sighs, the way she avoids eye contact, the way she sits with her body angled away instead of angled toward you like she used to. You feel the distance in how she says your name, less warmth, less softness, less belonging. You hear the gap in her voice before you hear the words. And men who live awake, men who have tasted loss, men who have watched loyalty evaporate in real time, they don't ignore this shift. They feel it like a blade sliding quietly between the ribs. Because presence is everything. When a woman's presence is fully yours, you feel it in the way she listens, in the way she leans in the way her energy wraps around yours like an invisible embrace. When that presence leaves, you feel that too. Even before you can explain why. Even before she knows you've noticed. A woman's emotional detachment does not announce itself. It fades. Gradually, subtly, inevitably, her body may remain in your space, but her soul is somewhere else. Somewhere she's not ready to admit, somewhere she doesn't want to name, somewhere she hopes you don't question. And that is the moment every man must learn to honor, the moment when your intuition whispers, she's here, but not with me. Not because you're weak, not because you're paranoid, not because you're insecure, but because you're awake. Aware, aligned with reality, not fantasy. Presence tells the truth long before words do, and when her presence drifts, you don't chase it, you don't confront it, you don't fall apart trying to pull her back. A Stoic man simply observes the distance, accepts what the energy reveals, and understands that when a woman's presence leaves, Something deeper left long before she avoids your touch. There is something ancient, something primal, about the way a woman responds to a man's touch. When she's connected to you, her body softens before she even realizes it. Her breathing shifts, her shoulders relax, her heartbeat changes rhythm without permission. A woman's body recognizes the man she desires long before her words do. That's why the first crack in intimacy doesn't show up in arguments or messages or explanations. It shows up in touch, when she's yours, truly yours. Your hand on her waist feels natural. Your presence pulls her in, your scent anchors her, your voice softens her defenses. But when that intimacy has drifted, when her emotional loyalty has shifted, when she is giving a deeper part of herself to someone who isn't you, your touch no longer feels like connection, it feels like disruption. And she reacts the way someone reacts. When you open a door they were trying to keep closed, she stiffens. You feel it instantly. The warmth that used to melt into you turns into a quiet tension. A tension she hopes you don't notice, even though your body feels it with absolute clarity. She pulls away just slightly. Not enough to make it obvious, just enough to protect the secret she's hiding behind her skin. She shifts her body when you sit near her. She moves to the other side of the bed. She hugs you with her arms, but not with her soul. You touch her lower back, the same place that once made her lean into you, and now she freezes, as if your hand is asking a question. She doesn't want to answer, and she'll disguise it with tiredness, with stress, with distraction, with excuses that sound logical but feel hollow, because a woman's mind can craft explanations, but her body reveals the truth. Here's what most men don't understand. A woman doesn't avoid your touch because she's angry, not because she's annoyed, not even because she's confused. She avoids your touch because she no longer wants to feel what she used to feel with you. Touch creates closeness. Touch builds connection. Touch exposes the truth she's trying to hide. When she has emotionally or physically invested in another man, your touch creates an internal conflict, a guilt she doesn't want to face, a loyalty she no longer feels, a desire she doesn't want to fake. And her body reacts faster than her thoughts. She steps back when you lean in. She picks up her phone the moment you sit next to her. She hugs you quickly, not deeply. She turns her face away when you kiss her. She avoids sitting in your lap. She avoids resting on your chest. She avoids letting you hold her the way you used to. Small movements, small shifts, small withdrawals. But they speak louder than any confession. Because the body remembers. The body tells the truth. The body does not negotiate with loyalty or betrayal. A woman whose heart is with you yearns for your touch. A woman whose heart is elsewhere flinches from it. And here's the part that cuts the deepest. She might not even realize she's doing it. Her avoidance is instinctual, automatic, subconscious. A woman who has opened herself emotionally to someone else protects that connection by closing herself, slowly, silently, off from you. Your touch becomes a mirror, a reminder, a reflection of a truth she doesn't want to confront, so she pulls away. Not dramatically, not loudly, but consistently, and you feel the distance in the way her skin responds to your hand, in the way her shoulders react to your embrace, in the way her heartbeat no longer synchronizes with yours. A man's instinct is powerful. You can sense when your presence is no longer welcomed the way it once was. You can feel when your touch no longer stirs the softness in her. You can feel when her body belongs to a world you are no longer part of. Her avoidance is not rejection, it's revelation. And a Stoic man does not deny what he feels. He does not chase validation. He does not beg to be held again. He does not question his own intuition just because she won't speak the truth. He lets the body speak. He listens to what her silence reveals. He accepts what her reactions expose. because in the end, her body will confess what her words never will. Guilt is a strange creature. It never walks through the front door. It slips in silently. It hides behind tone, attitude, distance, and it leaks out in ways she cannot control. A woman who is emotionally grounded, connected, and loyal does not suddenly grow irritated with the man she chooses. Her patience stays consistent. Her warmth stays stable. Her energy remains aligned. But when something inside her shifts, when her attention drifts, when her desire wanders, when another man has entered her emotional orbit, her mood toward you begins to change without warning and without logic. Suddenly, the smallest things you do become problems. Normal habits become issues. Your presence, the same presence she once admired, once wanted, once leaned into, now feels like pressure on her chest. You breathe wrong, and she sighs. You speak, and she flinches. You ask a simple question, and her tone sharpens, as if you've committed some invisible crime, and you can feel it. Not the irritation itself, but the unfairness of it. It's disproportionate, misplaced, irrational, because it isn't really about you. It's about her internal conflict. Guilt creates tension. Tension needs release, and the easiest place to release it is the man she is pulling away from. She doesn't hate you. She doesn't suddenly find you unbearable. She doesn't wake up one morning and decide to see you as the enemy. No, she manufactures resentment because she needs a story in her mind that justifies the emotional separation already happening inside her. This is not conscious. It's psychological, instinctive, a defense mechanism. If she convinces herself that you are the problem, then the distance she feels doesn't look like betrayal. It looks like a reaction, a response, a reason. She creates irritation because she needs emotional distance, and irritation is the quickest way to build a wall. Watch carefully. She criticizes things she used to overlook. She snaps at comments she once found funny. She treats your presence as an inconvenience. She grows restless when you speak. She becomes impatient when you ask for clarity. She withdraws when you try to connect. Her tone changes faster than her words. Her eyes harden, her warmth freezes, her softness evaporates. What you're feeling is not anger, it's displacement. She is fighting a war inside her, between who she was with you and who she feels she is becoming with someone else. And every man feels these bullets. You feel them in your chest when she rolls her eyes at something harmless. You feel them in your stomach when she sighs at your presence as if you're a burden. You feel them in your throat when you speak and she responds with coldness instead of connection. It makes you doubt yourself, makes you shrink, hold back, wonder what you're doing wrong. But the truth is simple. You didn't change. Her emotional allegiance did. Guilt needs release. Distance needs justification, confusion needs a target, and you, the man who senses everything, become the easiest place for her internal battle to land. Here's the deeper truth. She may not even be aware that she's doing this. The irritation is automatic, a psychological shield, a way to quiet the guilt or to validate a desire she hasn't admitted out loud. Irritation is how she protects the part of herself. She doesn't want you to see the part that feels torn, the part that feels drawn elsewhere, the part that knows a breach has begun. It is a quiet war, a war between loyalty and desire, truth and appearance, you and the version of you she's creating in her mind to justify the distance. And you feel every bullet, because you are the battlefield where this war plays out. But here's the masculine reality. A stoic man does not chase irritability. He does not beg for softness. He does not negotiate for peace. When she is manufacturing conflict, he watches, he listens, he reads the energy behind the noise. He recognizes when irritation is not about annoyance, but about avoidance. And he understands that when a woman's irritation grows without reason, her loyalty is already slipping through the cracks. She hopes you never notice. Her schedule changes overnight. A woman's routine is stable until another man enters her world. Suddenly she's busy, unavailable, tired, drained. Her nights become unpredictable. Her phone becomes a fortress. Her life becomes blurry. But only to you. When a woman protects her time from you and opens it for someone else, the imbalance screams the truth. 5. Her respect drops first. Before anything else, here's the real signal, the deepest one. When a woman gives another man emotional or physical access, the first casualty is respect. She stops admiring you, stops being inspired by you, stops seeing you as the center of her world. Her tone shifts. Her softness hardens, her admiration fades, not because you changed, but because her loyalty moved. A woman who respects you stays close. A woman who doesn't drifts into secrecy. But listen, these are signals, not verdicts, patterns, not proof. And the point is not to hunt for betrayal. The point is to never betray yourself. When something feels wrong, don't chase. Don't beg, don't interrogate, don't break your frame searching for answers that her behavior already gave you. A stoic man does not react. He observes, redirects, reclaims his energy, and walks toward a life where his presence is valued, not questioned, not taken for granted, not replaced. You don't control her choices. You only control how long you stay blind to them. Stand firm, stand in silence, and let truth reveal what words never will.